So I'm not quite sure what just happened. Spencer was trying to go get water so we would have water not only to shower but also to make all the concrete for the posts for the foundation. And now he's back shortly after he left. So what happened?
I'm driving down the road. I notice a large broken maple. I'm like, oh, I could probably cut that and use that for something. And as I'm thinking that, our road has large rocks scattered throughout it. I guess I hopped over one. The pallet forks on the front of the tractor dug into the ground and broke a hydraulic cylinder line. I don't even know how this is even possible. I'm guessing the cylinder just twisted and caused that little nipple or whatever on the hydraulic cylinder to shear right off. I'm sure I could probably get the tools to fix it. It doesn't look like it's anything crazy, but
this means we don't have water.
Yeah, we literally used our last bit of water. The only water we have is what's in that trash can. If it's the cylinder, I don't know how long I have to wait to get the replacement. That may be something that they stock. That may be something that has to be special ordered.
Well, I would do your best to try to figure this out as quickly as you can, because once Sunday. Oh, that's right, Sunday. I was gonna say once it's 5, you can't call anyone. Oh my gosh. Dude, what the hell? On top of everything, we were already kind of on a time crunch to try to get the post done, because in 2 days we have a chance of rain. It's not a high chance, but still, we were trying to get the foundation done over the next 2 days. And obviously that's not happening now because we can't make concrete without water.
It was hanging on for dear life like that, and I went to try to reposition it to stop it from dripping, but it totally broke off. And yeah, it's not a thread-on situation. That tiny little nipple right there is what goes into that hydraulic cylinder. That is a bad design on John Deere's part. Why isn't it this whole thread right there what actually connects?
All right, we'll figure it out.
So a little update. I got my hydraulic cylinder back today. After calling around, I found a place that not only had an opening to squeeze me in, but they could do it all in one shop, meaning disassemble the hydraulic cylinder and weld a new bung on there and then reassemble the whole thing. Because one shop that I called, they could disassemble it, but I'd have to go to a welder and then bring it back, and then he would reassemble it. So I found a shop and it's fixed. So that's good news, and it didn't take weeks. So let's go ahead and get this on because we're in dire need of water.
Making the trek over the mountain to go get us water. Thank goodness things worked in our favor this time, because if this hadn't been able to be fixed and we couldn't get water, we wouldn't be able to finish the foundation. And I mean, the trip would have been over. We wouldn't be able to work on getting the cabin on top of the foundation, nothing. So the build would have been at a standstill until we got this done. Oh, that wind pierces through my soul. The cold apparently makes me Irish. That little thing right there could have ended our trip.
That's the way it should have looked from the get-go, from the factory. Like, granted, they probably would have machines to get a little bit cleaner of a weld, but still, it makes way more sense than these fragile little, like, 3/8 of an inch fitting that can easily shear off, and then you're out of hydraulic cylinder.
You're just a little John Deere critic over here.
Yeah, I am. I'm only a critic because I'm a fan. I'm looking to improve. So it's been about an hour since I've left the camper. We have roughly about 160, I would say, gallons. It's a little over 150 gallons. I don't really know exactly. But that's the most I feel comfortable taking up the mountain. The tractor's capable of lifting a little bit more than that, but still, it's just not worth the risk. So now for the voyage back up and around the mountain. So now that the tractor's all fixed, we're going to shift our focus back to the foundation. Unfortunately, last night we got a bunch of rain, so did backfill in, so I'll have to clean that up just a little bit. But with the foundation, so what we're going to be using is, I wanted to use like metal culverts, just because I thought it aesthetically it would look better, but also sonotubes, unless you like special order them, and the only place I can find them is online. You have to like special order them in longer lengths because they only come in 4-foot sections. So that's the main reason why I was going to use a culvert, not only for the aesthetics of the metal culvert, but also because I can get them in 20-foot lengths. But turns out locally I can't get metal culverts. Everyone only carries plastic. So I'm up a creek without a paddle, and my only paddle is a plastic culvert. That makes any sense. So we're going with plastic.
Yeah, and the whole reason that we wanted the cabin to be a little bit more up off of the ground is so it is easier for Spencer to get under there, do the plumbing and the insulation and everything once it is up there. Because like with our house, we used the 4-foot sonotubes from the store, and it makes the crawl space very small and difficult for Spencer to get under there and maneuver. So that's why this is going to be up a little bit higher, and we chose to use the culverts. It's going to look really cool once we have the decking and everything around it. I got my little bundled up cute helper. You sweet girl. I don't think a beanie has ever looked cuter.
My princess.
I
I love you.
very exciting, but also slightly terrifying. Like, these posts look really high. I'm trying to imagine that container being lifted up and placed on top of here. It's so much higher than I thought it was going to be.
And we were going to put it up an extra foot.
I know, this is even lower than we were originally planning.
We're going to do 3 foot on the lowest side, and then whatever else kind of worked out to be. But once we saw how tall this was over 5 foot tall.
Yeah, it was like 5.5. Like, this is going to be a lot of concrete, too.
So all my culvert pipes have been cut. They're all leveled to each other, and we're ready for the next step, which is rebar. So I do have rebar sticking out of the footer, so that'll tie the footer to the post itself. The rebar that's sticking out of the ground is roughly 2.5 feet currently. So I'm going to cut some additional rebar, which will run from that to up to the top of the culvert pipe, and that'll just strengthen up the concrete from that point forward. And then once I get all those cut and tied in, then we can start pouring concrete.
right, so the rebar is all done, and now we're just working on getting everything perfectly lined up so we are ready to pour concrete.
We have so many different dimensions. Like, take for instance, not only is the container 80 by 40, and if you only had to take that into account, or
8 by
80,
4.
excuse me, 8 by 4. So many numbers being jumbled up. 8 by 40 feet. That would be the simple part, but the plates that I had built, they have this little nipple in the middle of them where the rebar comes through to make it the connection really strong. Well, that has to be in the center of the foot of the container, so you have to take in the account of the center foot of the container, so that's like 3.5 inches off of each side. Not to mention like long ways, like the 40 feet wise, that's the foot's slightly longer that way, so you got 4 inches that direction. And then the plates are 8 by 8, and then you're dealing with round culverts which are 12 inches, so it's just like,
There's a lot to take into account.
yeah.
And obviously you don't want to mess it up. It's boggling our brains. Is that a thing? Boggle your brain.
Yeah, my brain's about fried. Done for today.
Oh God. What? Now I have a question for you.
Huh.
Is this how you imagined we'd be spending our 11-year dating anniversary?
Our dating anniversary.
I know, it's like, obviously, when you're married, you just kind of forget all the other ones, but
Yeah.
this day, 11 years ago, is when you asked me to be your girlfriend.
It just sounds so funny.
I know.
Asked you to be my girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You want to go together?
Okay. Lots happened in the last 11 years. I never thought we'd be here right now.
Nope. Nor would I.
Are we going to do anything else to celebrate, or just build a foundation?
Concrete!
I feel so bad right now. The intention was for me to help Spencer build the foundation, but having the 3 kids, obviously I have to keep stopping and taking care of them because they're the priority, but I just feel bad because I know it's not as easy making the concrete, having to pour it into the bucket by yourself, so I don't know. You're an all-star, babe. You're definitely the MVP here. And I feel, ooh, I'm getting emotional for this. I feel very lucky to have found you. And I remember that day 11 years ago like it was yesterday, and I'm so glad you asked me to be your girlfriend. And it's okay. Life is just, it's freaking crazy, man. I never thought I would end up here and end up with such an amazing partner. I feel really lucky. Really lucky. Here's to 11 more. Or even more if you're lucky.
You are my best friend, chill as the weekend. My all the time, partner in crime, always my last kiss. Tastes like red licorice. We just love the birds and bees. Oh, looky, lucky me, singing. pokey and a little hokey. But here's the simple truth: in 100 years, I still love you, still singing.
So now that the foundation is all done, all we need to do is work on backfilling and cleaning up the site. We also need to trim some of these branches back because next week we officially have the crane all booked to get the cabin moved onto the foundation. It's going to be a very exciting day. You are playing with fire. You knock one of those posts, what do we do? Like, let's just use the shovels. Good job. Almost there. This might take a while. Good job, buddy.